All right, welcome to another, unless this is your very first, Deal Structure Sunday with Greg and Cami, unless it's your first seeing them from lovely, sunny, beautiful Ohio.
Thanks, Chris.
How else can I describe it?
Perfect. That's
All right.
perfect.
Let's dive in here, guys. What deal number is this for you, by the way? Probably good to know.
Oh, gosh.
This is deal number 13.
13?
13. Okay, and I know because we did it last weekend at the event, you guys probably know your numbers. So in the deal structure overtime, we'll do some rough numbers for these guys and where you are in the world of payday 1, 2s, and 3s. That's good.
Sounds
All
good.
right, deal type on this one.
Yeah, this is a sandwich.
Okay, how long of the term?
48 months.
48 months. I guess my question, basic sandwich, would be how this came about, well, source, but yeah, and then how long it took.
Yep. So yeah, this is a source was definitely an expired. He tried to sell the home by himself. There were, well, not by himself, with a realtor. A couple deals had fallen through. They went to get financing, and both times they were not. The buyers had to walk away because lenders pulled out of the deal. And
So did that make your conversations kind of a no-brainer? That's what we always tell people, sellers, that could happen. Did that make it easier, or do you remember?
yes, it made it very easy. And this was actually picked up by our seller specialist, and it made a very easy conversation for her.
Okay, so we're going to talk about seller specialists. And by the way, everything I say we're going to talk about in the overtime, you guys got to remind me to make sure we talk about it. But we'll talk about that in the overtime, because people don't know necessarily what seller specialist means, right? So it's basically your team member.
That's correct.
Okay, reminder, Greg, just explain to the viewers on a sandwich, instead of talking price, we talk debt and equity. If you want to just explain that, and then what your numbers are.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, on a sandwich, we don't talk about price. We want to know, our objective is we want to lock in, try to get the equity that the seller's asking for. And in order to do that, we want to know what the debt is on the underlying mortgage or mortgages. And then we just see if that equity can be obtained based on if we can sell it for that price. So that's
okay. So what's the underlying debt here?
208,186.
208,186. Underlying mortgage.
You got it.
And then you guys agreed to lock in how much equity?
Yes, $71,813.
Okay, so curious, what does that come to?
Comes to
2799 or roughly?
yeah.
Okay.
It's like almost 280.
Correct.
All right, so let's just round up and say 280. So I'm curious. So for the viewers to see, and then I'm going to ask you what they were on for, but for the viewers to see, all the conversation was, hey, we're going to lock in this much equity. However they got to that conversation, we'll talk about that on the overtime, and then we're going to pay off your debt. And just as a reminder, if you're new to these, because so many people are, the underlying debt clearly is not 208 in 48 months. That's why we do that. Your equity's locked, and we're going to pay off your loan. End of
Right.
discussion. What was he on for before you guys did this?
Yeah, he was actually trying to sell it for almost 300,000.
All right, so good. And we can talk about in the overtime what the script was around that, because we all do a basic script around that.
Correct.
Awesome. What did you sell it for, or what are you proposing to sell it for?
319.
319. Was that? Where'd you guys come up with that?
Well, we came up with that based on what things are selling for in that area. And then I appreciated it based on about 6-ish% per year.
Cool.
So yeah, we thought about going a little higher, but I think I was going to get a lot of kickback. So I think this is a good number.
I agree.
Okay.
Because the comps in the area were closer to the 280,000 mark. So, and that type of area, it seemed to be the right choice.
So you're already pushing it as much as you can. Okay. All right. So let's talk about where we're probably going to land, because this is not done on the buyer side yet, just for disclosure for everybody. But these deals are pretty, boilerplate. What are we talking about for deposit from a buyer conservatively?
Well, we're going to shoot for 10%, which is 31.9.
Okay, and what is jumbo in your area? Sorry, Cami.
It is 578.
Okay, so 10% is good. You don't need to push 20.
Yeah.
Okay,
Correct.
and
We
then
do-
just go ahead.
I was just gonna say, we have made a decision in our business, anything over 250, we aren't taking less than 5% down. So that's really what, I'm putting out there right now. I'm not getting much kickback either. I mean, people are like,
No.
okay. So,
Especially if you give them time, right?
yeah,
And so for the viewers to know, time meaning Cammie's discussion with the buyer, since she handles that real easy, could be, what do you get for tax refunds? What do you get for retroactive pay? What do you have for raises coming up? All of that stuff, settlements, family gifts, whatever, all of that stuff comes into the discussion to try to increase the deposit. So if they start at 5%, they might end in 2 years at 10% or 15%.
right.
Cool. All right, monthly payment on that underlying 208.
Yeah, that monthly payment is $1,725.
1,725. Is that all in principal, interest, taxes, insurance?
It is.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Okay, and then on the market for the buyer for how much?
I think we're gonna land at around 2,300.
That's exactly where my brain was. Just, you do enough of these and then low 300s, 22, 23.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. I love it. Okay, what does that come to? So my brain doesn't have to work?
Yeah, about 575 monthly cash flow.
575.
Mhm.
And then if you go 48 months, could go longer, could be shorter, but if you go 48 months, how much is that?
Yeah, it's just about 20,500, just a little over that.
Okay. Sweet. So far, playing with the paydays, not too dissimilar to other deals, 31.9 and 20,500, right?
Correct. Mhm.
All right. Let's talk about the price premium there was what, like 40,
Yeah, 39 grand, right around there. Mhm.
39K. Was there a reason you guys didn't go 319.9? I mean, I'll take the 900 if you want to just throw it on there.
I don't know. You know what? Honestly, I was like, I always do 19.9. I'm gonna just do it plain this time.
Okay, so how about 700? It's
Yeah.
a dinner out. All
That's
right.
what I was thinking. That's a couple dinners right there at least.
Yeah. Well, it depends where you're taking her. All right, principal
Yeah.
pay down on the 1725.
Yeah, it comes out to 10,080 during basically a 36-month term.
You did 36. Do you remember okay, divide that out. What's the number monthly? Because we should stay consistent.
Yep, I'll tell you here in 1 second.
And while he's doing that, let's take the 31.9 out. Again, if you're new, this just becomes a conventional closing at the end. So we got to
Yes.
give the buyer credit for the 31.9, and then they close it just like they would any other deal that started today, only it's 4 years old. What's that number, Greg?
Comes out to $280 a month, principal pay.
So what's 280 times 48? So we're consistent with this.
Comes out to 13,440.
13,440.
Mhm.
Now, there's techniques to move this deal further out called wealth stacking. There's also the occasional buyer that'll cash them out early. So again, disclosure. It's gonna be lower, it could be higher. This is pretty boilerplate though, what's going on. And then the cash out on payday 3,
20,540.
2540. So when we add all these up, well, that 20,000, okay, yeah. So when we add all these up, including the tweak we just made, like 3 grand higher, what do these come to?
Comes out
Ballpark,
to
you can round.
72,900.
72,900. If I remember last weekend, we did that event. Your average street paydays is around 74, 75-ish.
Correct. Yeah, around 74. Correct.
Okay, so it's right in line with what you're doing.
It is.
Just a hint, we used to, I know you guys know this probably, but we used to like literally watch the running average, right? In each deal, see if you can eke out whether it's deposit one, or in this case, you're not gonna do much other than deposit one. Now, is he getting blamed for something already?
It's because he does that all the time.
Oh,
He's
you do it too.
increased the average per deal,
I am.
and he looks at that number all the time.
Well, he's just bumming that he's not at 78 yet, where our average is, so he'll get there.
Right. Well, you also need to add in another $2,300 because we're going to get first an extra deposit there up front, first month's rent.
Okay, plus first month. How much? 23? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, 23. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So explain that for the viewers, Greg, because again, I too many times on these, if you watch the other 100 or so of these, say another deal structure and you guys already know, they don't, there's new people. So what's this extra 2,300 we just put in your pocket?
Yeah, so normally when you go buy a home, you put your down payment and you don't make your first mortgage payment until 30 days later. However, these are rent to own. And so we collect the first month's rent, which then we put in our pocket, which is great.
Yep, and I can't take credit for that. 2015 or so, a buddy of mine said he started doing that, and we've never stopped, because why would you? With very few
Right.
exceptions, the sellers don't balk. And maybe one out of, well, let me ask you guys, out of 13 deals, has any seller balked in that and you had to give in?
No.
No. Okay,
No.
usually I was gonna say one out
No.
of 10 or 20. You might.
None of them. See, I did it because I
Shocking.
make up that $900 that Cami didn't make for 13.9.
That's right. All right. So, well, plus you're going to go on, you're going to add 750 maybe. All right.
Yeah.
So let's do this. Let's go to smartrealestatecoachacademy.com and fire up the next episode of Deal Structure Overtime, so you guys can hear about a little bit more about Greg's conversations with the seller and any other nuances we can think of, as well as some of their deals, meaning the total they've earned so far for their tenure here with us at Smart Real Estate Coach. We'll see you guys on the Deal Structure Overtime.